10 references you missed in the Amazing World of Gumball. The Amazing World of Gumball, one of the most famous and successful animated series of this decade. An animated sitcom that makes you enjoy a good laugh in each and every episode. A laugh that makes you cry because of how funny and crazy the adventures of these two guys are. That's why it's called the Amazing World of Gumball. A world where nothing is normal and everything is absolutely weird but funny at the same time. Every episode is more surreal than the other, but somehow you laugh more with every episode you watch. It has the perfect mixture between funny and surreal. You have fun with every episode, especially in the first seasons, because the characters are so witty and funny. An episode of Gumball starts like the life of a typical teenager and ends in an absolutely weird way where you finish the episode saying, what just happened? Gumball is so random, awesome, and playful at the same time that it hooks you to watch more and more episodes. You can tell that the creators of the show actually put time and effort into every episode to make it funny and enjoyable, not just to fill up the seasons like some creators do. The Amazing World of Gumball revolves around the life of the main character, Gumball Watterson, who along with his adopted goldfish, brother, and best friend Darwin, go through the funniest adventures in the city of Elmore, where he lives with one of the greatest animated characters ever created, and his dad, Richard, his little sister Anais, and his mom Nicole. Gumball and his family will go through amazing and funny situations in every episode, one weirder than the other. But at the same time, the Amazing World of Gumball is filled with references to other shows and other movies in their episodes. References that you may have missed and didn't pick up on because you didn't know what they referenced. So without further ado, let's get straight into the 10 references you missed in the Amazing World of Gumball. Let's go! Episode 26 of the 6th season of the Amazing World of Gumball, called The Ghouls, starts with Halloween in Elmore, the city where Gumball lives. At the beginning of the episode, we see that all the characters of Gumball are singing a song to celebrate Halloween and going around the city trick-or-treating. Then the song ends, and we see Gumball and Darwin talking about going to Carrie's house, but Carrie is really angry that Halloween isn't what it really once was. It's only about trick-or-treating now, instead of a scary celebration. While this is happening, Tobias and Banana Joe talk about the legends of Mr. Candy, whom they summon after saying candy 3 times. Now, the Mr. Candy that Banana Joe and Tobias summon is a reference to the famous character and main character of the movie, Candyman, played by Tony Todd. Candyman was a man who died in the 19th century, and he returns to haunt and chase humans in the real world when they say his name 5 times in front of a mirror, just like Banana Joe and Tobias did, calling the name of Mr. Candy 3 times. And also, the most obvious reason why this is a reference to Candyman is the name. Mr. Candy is referencing the name of Candyman this episode. So if you connect all the dots, it's clear that Mr. Candy in the Amazing World of Gumball was a reference to Candyman. In this same episode, we see a lot more references to other characters. After Banana Joe and Tobias summon Mr. Candy, they start messing with him and summoning him at all times for petty reasons, while he keeps telling them that he was busy and they shouldn't be calling him for petty reasons. But Banana Joe and Tobias, as we all know, are who they are. And despite this, they keep calling Mr. Candy to answer dumb questions. Then Banana and Tobias get tired of Mr. Candy, saying that he doesn't live up to his name, and leave. But in the scene after this one, we see Hank, one of the construction men in the series, being chased by a long fingernailed ghoul. And when we see him, we realize that this creature in Gumball is a reference to none other than Freddy Krueger, main villain of the movie Nightmare at Elm Street. Freddy is a famous villain that haunts and eliminates people in their dreams without being present in real life. He consumes them with nightmares in their dreams until they succumb to his wrath. Freddy has become an icon in the movie world for his gloves with razors and skin. Hence, we see the reference to Freddy and Gumball having long fingernails. That's why. After this scene, we see Gumball, Darwin, and Carrie talking about how Halloween is not scary anymore, and they need to do something to bring back the sense of Halloween. Then we see a minor reference before the big one where Ricky Robinson is wiping the high school floors while listening to music when he suddenly sees a dark shadow walking straight towards him. First, he doesn't give it that much heed, then he sees it again, throws away his mop, and runs away. This is actually a minor reference to the shadow that we see in the movie It Follows. It, which is how the main antagonist of the movie is called, is a supernatural being that follows his victims at night, like in this scene of Gumball. But right after this scene, we see Leslie and Alan going trick-or-treating in the dark night when they find a VHS on the floor saying, if you play this, it could be the last thing you ever play. He picks it up, and then we see a creature coming out of the well that was next to him. Well, this is a clear reference to the girl and main antagonist of the movie, The Ring. In The Ring, this girl is the living spirit of a girl who had a very dark life in the past, and now her spirit is trying to seek revenge for what happened to her in the past. The VHS, the girl, and the well are all in the movie, and that's why they're also referenced in Gumball. Right after the scene, we see Rocky Robinson again eating at a burger place when he sees the same shadow of It Follows again coming straight towards him. And like in the previous scene with the mob, he drops the burger and runs away. But after this scene, we see another scene where Sarah's studying in her home, minding her own business, when suddenly she receives a phone call from an unknown person asking her if she would want to watch a movie. And then the screen splits and we see a guy with a black and white mask talking to her in a raspy voice. This is without a doubt a reference to the main villain of the movie franchise, Scream. The antagonists of this movie wear the same mask that we see in the scene of Gumball when they're following their targets. In the different Scream movies, the one, the second one, the third one, the character changes, but the mask is still the same. This mask has become an icon in the world of movies because of how impactful these movies were. It's a symbol of Halloween, and because of this, the creators of Gumball decided to reference it in this episode. Obviously, in a funny way, you know? Because in this scene of Gumball, Sarah doesn't give too much importance to the guy that's calling, and she starts messing with him. This episode of Gumball goes on to show us a lot of references to other movies and characters. Following the scene of Sarah, we see Rocky Robinson again trying to run away from the shadow, so he goes into the gym, puts a treadmill on the way of the shadow, and the shadow starts walking and working out on the treadmill. Carrie sees this and proves to Gumball and Darwin what she was saying. Halloween is not scary anymore, and then she says, it's all about candy, candy, candy 3 times, and Mr. Candy appears. He tells them that since Halloween is not scary anymore, all the scary guys have been looking for other jobs. And we see a clown that is obviously a reference to Pennywise from the movie It. In the movie It, we see that this clown is an ancient creature that goes after young people in the town of Derry and comes out every 27 years. Then we see another reference where a guy with a mask is cutting a bush, and this is a reference to none other than Jason, the main antagonist of the movie Friday the 13th. Jason grew up in a rough environment and had a rough childhood that turned him into the villain that we see later in the movie. And after the scene, we see another one where a hand is giving a massage to a guy in the back. This is also a reference to the movie The Hand, which is the main antagonist of the movie. The main character, John Lansdale, suffers an accident where he loses his hand. The hand is not found in the accident, and the hand returns to haunt every person who once angered its owner. So many funny references that you probably didn't pick up on. Episode 37 of the second season of the Amazing World of Gumball, called The Internet, starts with a normal day in the life of Gumball and Darwin watching videos online. In one of the videos they watch, Gumball starts doing weird faces and overreacting to a video that he was watching. But Gumball doesn't realize that his webcam is turned on, and the video of him doing those faces is uploaded to the internet. The video goes viral, and the next day all of his classmates start laughing at him because of the video. After this, Gumball panics and begins a mission to start deleting the video from the internet. And in one of the scenes of the episode where Gumball and Darwin go to the cyber police, the officer is watching a video when a message pops up saying, win a new car. Then multiple other pop-ups come up. This is an obvious reference to the pop-up ads that exist and happen in real life. These ads are a form of online advertising that appears in a small or medium-sized window when you click in a website. These ads are usually false and try to bait the person to click on them to take them to their site. And sometimes these pop-ups are so excessive that they can fill up the entire screen, and this is why the creators of Gumball are making fun of them in this sense by referencing them in this episode. Episode 13 of Season 4 of The Amazing World of Gumball starts with Gumball walking through the hallways of Elmore Junior High when suddenly he sees that all of his classmates are acting weird around him and calling him a name, Laser Hard, all the time. Confused at this situation, Gumball panics and starts running to meet Darwin, but as he's running through the hallways, the classmates are calling him Laser Hard, Laser Hard, Laser Hard. He then meets with Sarah, and she tells him that they're following him and calling him Laser Hard because she used him as the main character for a new comic called Laser Hard. The episode goes on with Gumball trying to act like Laser Hard at all times, but at one point in the episode, when Gumball is tired of not being good enough to be a superhero, Sarah gives him the new title of the comic, and when they open it, we can clearly see that this comic and the superhero is a reference to Batman. Here in the comic, we see Gumball as Batman fighting villains and monsters, while Darwin is being none other than Robin. In the Batman comics, Batman always has his friend Robin with him, and we can see the same thing in the comic where the two guys are fighting together to save the city like Batman and Robin did. Episode 7 of the 5th season of Gumball starts with Gumball and Darwin trying to watch a video on the internet, but it doesn't load. Then Anais comes and asks them if they are having problems with the Wi-Fi, to which Darwin responds saying yes. Then they come to the conclusion that they're probably not gonna have internet for a long time because Gumball's dad Richard has a bad credit score and he won't be able to get their own Wi-Fi. Darwin then tries to create his own internet by recreating every aspect that forms it. And in one of the scenes of this episode, we see that Darwin makes a cardboard screen that says Elmore Flicks. This is an obvious reference to the streaming service and website Netflix. Netflix was founded in 1997 in Scotts Valley, California, and ever since it was created, it has grown to become one of the leading streaming sites in the entire world. Since Netflix is such a big part of the internet nowadays, Darwin tried to recreate his own one by calling it Elmore Flicks, a slight reference that maybe you didn't see. And well, my guys, that's all the dose of DJ there is for today. I really hope you guys liked this video and liked all these amazing references you missed in the amazing world of Gumball. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one, my guys. Peace!